Chairman Magna Publishing, the stunning Pooja Bedi, and Andrea Kaufman, editor Savvy. One of India's best women's magazines, Savvy, has always put women who inspire on the cover. As so today, we have the bold and the beautiful Pooja Bedi gracing the cover of Savvy. Can we start the unveiling, please?
I think we've covered all 360 degrees. So
Our gorgeous cover woman, Pooja Bedi, has been a popular figure in the Indian glamour circuit. She is a live wire, an anchor, columnist, actress, feminist, and enthusiastic persona who lives life to the fullest. She's been tagged as a sex symbol, been the first to promote safe sex through her ad Kama Sutra, and has always been a social crusader. She's a lady who speaks from her heart. Pooja, I'd like to ask you, what does it feel like to be a savvy woman?
what does it feel like to be a savvy woman? Well, I feel very honored to be a savvy woman because you only get one of them a month.
Yeah.
And, and it's obviously something that's very close to my heart because Magna as a group, I've grown up with. My entire career has been Stardust and Savvy and, all these wonderful publications that a society and, it was so integral to our childhood because that's all there was. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have any other form of any other medium that informed us as to what was going on in the world of glamour and entertainment. And it was a big high to be on the cover of a magazine, and Magna cover was like the premium, and you just wanted to be there. And so it's so nice. I mean, I've been on a couple of Magna covers before, but to think that 25 saal baad you're still on the cover, it's wonderful.
I would like to know who inspires you the most.
I would say my mother, for sure, because I am a product of everything that she has put into me and cultivated and groomed me to being the person, empowered me, I would say, to being the person I am today in every possible way. She was an extraordinarily strong woman. And given the role of women in Indian society, we know how difficult the journey has been to get to the position today where we can so easily have the rights that we enjoy. And it was people like her that were the trailblazers back then that stood up against all these societal conventions and prejudices and these morality crusades that were thrust upon large sections of our society, and spoke up so freely and openly and lived life on her own terms. And I think the most important thing she ever taught me was to do exactly what I wanted with my life as long as it was not unlawful and as long as it didn't hurt anybody. And those are the two standards I've lived my entire life by. And again, I've led it on my own terms thanks to her. Internationally, I would say a woman that greatly inspires me is Angelina Jolie. She does the same thing. She's fabulous.
That was beautifully answered. Now I'd like to invite the media to ask their questions.
Pooja, hi. Before we go any further, I want to know about the hot men.
Read the magazine. It has every detail. And also, version of hot depends, because if you see my men, they've not been one particular type. They've been various types. Don't fit a particular bracket. Some of them are shorter, some of them are taller, some of them are dark, some of them are fair, some of them are, a billionaire, someone's a pauper. So it's there's no type clearly. It's the human being that matters. That's essentially it. Some people find money hot, some people find power hot, some people find looks hot. So it really depends on what your version of hot is.
What do you find hot, Pooja?
Oh my God. Who wants to fit the bracket? I think for me, hot is it's just something. Firstly, it's the chemistry. I think that's incredibly important, because there has to be chemistry. Either it's there or it's not there. Chemistry is not something you can create. That's the most important factor in a relationship. And I think in addition to that, it would be a certain persona that you come in with. It not necessarily the way you look. Like, say for example, someone like Simon Baker. He's exceptionally hot. I have never met him, but it's just the whole persona he comes in with. The Mentalist, if you've seen the series, it is something roguish and interesting and charming and quirky and decently indecent, about him. I think there's a slight element of craziness for me that is always important. Unpredictability, but predictably unpredictable. Fun, spunky, out of the box. Just different qualities. I tell you, I don't have a type.
What is your definition of feminism?
My definition of?
Feminism.
My definition of feminism. Feminism essentially would be a movement started to gather rights for women, to make sure that we are on an equal platform, especially given the fact we had a largely patriarchal society, and therefore, were forced to outperform and overdo the whole thing, to the extent you have to burn your bras to prove a point, where you don't need to do that, but you have to go to an extreme to be able to set back an order where you find some sort of balance. Unfortunately for me, the way I look at it, I mean, of course, feminism is extremely important, because, there has to be a large surge and a large energy movement to give us that space that we deserve. But I think sometimes what happens is feminists tend to go overboard. And I think the whole concept of male bashing for women empowerment has come into a picture, which is unnecessary, unimportant, and unfair. And I think when you try to put down men by, putting a man down to put a woman up, that's not feminism to me. Feminism is putting up a woman because she deserves to be in that spot and position, irrespective of what's around her. You don't need to put anyone down to put anybody up.
Your both parents, Kabir Bedi and Pooja Bedi, were rule breakers. So how was it going with them in their shadow?
I grew up as a rebel to that. So, while most kids were rebelling against their parents and smoking cigarettes and possibly doing drugs, I grew up not doing cigarettes and not doing drugs, because I saw so much of that around me growing up. So, I think my parents heralded the whole flower power generation, which was the whole sex, drugs, rock and roll, and free spirit and hippie culture. And, so I grew up in an environment where all that was very normal. Artists and thinkers and philosophers and painters, and, that whole space was there. And strangely, I remember being very young and saying, this is all fine, but I was very tiny, and I still remember that moment when I said, I never want any of this in my life. And it was a conscious decision. And I mean, much as people get really taken aback sometimes, you don't smoke? You've never smoked? I'm like, no, I've never smoked, never touched a drug in my life, unless you consider bhang a drug, which I've done, I think, twice on Holi. But that those are my parameters and boundaries. I think growing up, my mother would always say, I've given birth to such a backward child, So I think at the end of the day, I think both parents have taught me well. Papa's um, taught me a lot about professionalism and punctuality and etiquette, and that dimension of life. As my mother was more free spirited and bohemian and fun, and dad would like take me to like the five-star hotels, and while growing up, and we had that zone. Mom would take us camping, tenting to the villages, and outdoors and nature, and so we had a great blend of two worlds growing up, which was very, I guess, fabulous for a child because you get to experience both. I went to a very strict military boarding school. For all the bohemianism that they had, they sent us to a boarding school which had 100 girls in a dormitory, bed locker, bed locker, bed locker. We had 3 baths a week. Um, 2 body baths and 1 head bath, and this is a premium boarding school. This is a boarding school where my classmates, my classmates included Ness Wadia, there was Omar Abdullah, there's Pratap Gaikwad, so all of us like Mel Johnson, Nadine Bull, so all of us like one big lot being, properly checked for our nails and our shoes and our boots and the polish, and being made to march in squads to chapel, and and it was just really, it was a wonderful, toughening experience. So I think given my schooling, my mom and my dad, I think it's a very well-rounded childhood that I've been given, a great preparatory springboard for the rest of my life. Of course.
Growing up with two larger-than-life people living the kind of lifestyle they did, and you making that conscious choice that, oh my God, this is going very well, but it's not going to be fun. Did you feel the pressure to live up to something that was possibly expected of you? I don't know, maybe at a subconscious level, being an offspring of this kind of.
I have to say that what my parents considered conservative was extremely bohemian to the rest of society. So I mean, the fact that I did a Kama Sutra campaign would have shocked the hell out of somebody else. I mean, to me, those were you create your own parameters of what works for you and what you think you would like your life to be. But that doesn't mean that you suddenly become a moralistic prude as a result of it. Definitely not. I am definitely a result of my parents and their upbringing and that wonderful, liberated, open thought processes. That's definitely been imbibed. It's just that, as I said, with the burn the brow women libers, you go to one extreme, and then there's a sort of correction where you come back mid-center and there's a balance. So I think what's happened at the end of it is I personally feel I've come out very balanced in my approach, my attitudes. I'm able to not slam men, to be able to praise women, which was necessary for a lot of feminists to do, to try and prove that they were better, to try and prove they were a better man. My point is, you don't have to be a better man. You can be a perfect, complete woman without even trying, So I think at the end of the day, there's been a conscious decision for me, given all the wonderful toolkit that my parents gave me, this wonderful array of thoughts and ideas and attitudes and experiences that they shared and also brought into my life, that shaped me to make my choices and be who I am today. And I wouldn't. No pressure at all. In fact, there was, for example, my career choices. My mom wasn't happy about me joining films. She was aghast because she said, I was number one in my school. I was a class topper. I signed the Book of Honor, So for her, it was like, you're so intelligent. Why do you want to join the industry? So I said, Mama, the fact is, intelligence is important for every aspect of your life. I mean, you have to be intelligent to be a good actor. You have to be intelligent to be able to then go forward into production or direction or other mediums that you might choose to explore later in life. And, the intelligence doesn't go anywhere. You can always use it at a later point, which is perhaps why I've started so many other things along the way. And today I have my Happy Soul workshops that I do. So it's been a continuous process of growth and discovery. So yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's I've always had their support. They've always told me what they think is right and what they think is wrong, what they think is the best for me, what they don't think is the best for me. But the choices have always been mine. And they've always told me that if you choose to do this, be aware of the consequences and don't go into it and then come out crying. Just know this will be the repercussion to what you're doing, and maybe the repercussion to what you're doing. And if this were to happen, be prepared for it and take it on, because you have to take responsibility for your actions and your decisions. It's as simple as that.
How is your equation with your children? Are you more like a mother to them or like a friend?
I've asked that question so much, and there was this one point of time, my daughter was very young, and she turned around and said, no, yaar, or something like that to me. And I looked at her and I said, Alia, don't call me yaar, I'm not your friend. And there was a stunned silence where she looked at me, and I said, I'm your mother, I'm not your friend. There's a very specific role that I have as your mother, which nobody else has. And there's a very specific purpose to being a mother. And the moment I try to be your friend, I'm just like everybody else who's trying to either play the part or be that person, or you have enough friends. I can be a friendly mother. I can be friendly, I can be a support system, I can be all of that, which your friends also are. But I am your mother. And there are certain boundaries we do not cross, and that respect level for having me as your mother, and for me to respect and value the space that you hold as my daughter, for me that is number one. So let's not ever forget, I'm your mother, I'm a friendly mother, but I'm not your friend. So
What is Alia like? Pratima Bedi, you yourself said she's been a bohemian and you've been pretty balanced as a person. So what is
well, balance is also subjective, by the way. Like if you tell my daughter, she'll tell you that I'm most imbalanced because she's far more practical and logical, and and more mature in the shaped kind of constructed way than I am, because she likes to project that and be that person. So there's a show, I don't know if you've seen it, called F and Bedi, which is on YouTube. Alia and me had done this show called F and Bedi, and it's very irreverent. And the thing is, people keep asking me, how do you allow your daughter to speak to you like that? She takes your case and she's saying such irreverent things to you. And I said, well, I would rather that she feels it and expresses it rather than feels it and suppresses it, because I'd like to know what's going on in her headspace. But throughout the entire show, you see a play between mother and daughter where essentially I'm me. I enjoy my inner child. I nurture my inner child. I love that part of me that is childish and playful and fun and mad, and can roll on the sand and do mad things, or crack the stupidest jokes and laugh till I fall off a table. And she's like, Mama, behave yourself, and how are you talking, how are you sitting, and just behave yourself. Goes on. I'm like, my God, who's the parent and who's the child? And I keep saying she nurtures her inner adult, and I nurture my inner child. And she keeps saying, Mama, you're such a child. And I say, yes, and thank God for that. Because you see a child, I was telling them earlier, you see a child, and a child is filled with these amazing qualities. They're curious and they're passionate, and they're always inquisitive, and they're filled with excitement and wonder and zest, and let's do it. And then you see these adults, and they're just so jaded and bored with life, and so like, ठीक है यार, अब जिंदगी चलने दो जैसे चलनी है, अभी क्या करेंगे, they're not interested in learning anything new. Whatever's there is there. How are the houses it is, and I'm like, when did this glorious, wonderful creature turn into that, and why would I want to turn into that? Why would I want to be that person? So no, I don't want the child in me to die. And there's a very big difference in being childlike and being childish. Big difference. I choose to be childlike. I choose that. Oh. Well, right now we have a lot of help from from various quarters like Kaya Skin Clinic.
honestly, how you managed to maintain your gorgeous?
Well, actually, thank you for the compliment, firstly. Secondly, I've lost about 13 kilos in 13 weeks. I suddenly decided to change my life in May this year. I decided that was it. I was done. I ended a relationship in May, and I said, I just want to reinvent my life. I just, the child in me. I want things to be different. I want to create major catharsis and change. And so basically, I hit the gym. And there's been a project called Happy Soul Workshops, which I've started, which I had been on the back burner for 2 years. And I said, everyone kept asking me, when is it coming out? When is it coming out? When is it coming out? When is it? I said, this is it. So in May, I broke up. And by August, I'd launched the Happy Soul Workshops. So that was a reality. It had launched and off and running. And I lost 13 kilos. And
So the breakup's the month.
I think I just decided I had enough of the sameness. I think I just decided that even the patterns, even relationships going a certain way, there's a sameness, there's a pattern to everything. And it was just time to just shake things up energetically and just make the difference, because they say what you vibrate at is what you attract. So therefore, if you vibrate differently, you attract differently. To do the same things and expect different results is stupidity. So that's it.
Why don't you tell us something about your Happy Soul Workshops,
Oh.
Pooja?
Okay, so basically it's an amalgamation of science and spirituality. It basically is about 10 years of different courses that I've done in various modalities. I've done the highest diplomas in the Hypnosis Institute, the California Hypnosis Institute of India. And I've got their diplomas in clinical hypnosis, in behavioral hypnosis, and spiritual hypnosis. I've done energy modalities from Reiki to shamanism to magnified healing and soul temple and heal your life and all these things. So basically, and researched a lot and read up on different modalities. And it's very fascinating when you kind of uncover the synergy between what science has established, and therefore it's called science, and what is meta science and what is out there. And you can see how science has understood meta science, but in a very, very nascent stage, and how you can put these two together and empower people and deconstruct what's going on inside. So everyone here who's not happy, there's a reason you're not happy. There's a reason either you're stressed, depressed, frustrated, angry, lethargic, whatever. If something is not working, there's only one person that created it, and that's you. And there's only one person that can uncreate it, and that's you. So whether it's your relationships, whether it's your personality, whether it's your lifestyle choices, whatever it is, you can fix it. So we show people in this one-day course how to fix it. We show people how to use these different modalities, how to put things into place to deconstruct all the belief systems you have created, which limit you. Say, for example, a girl wearing a short skirt thinks it's terrible. A girl wearing a short skirt thinks there's no big deal because it's just the way she's been brought up. One girl carries guilt, shame, and all those associations within. One girl says completely okay. So that's a very small example of belief systems impacting you and your life, and the way you see yourself, the way you see society, the moral standards and judgments you put on yourself, how to free yourself on every single level. It could be in terms of relationships, it could be a relationship with money. A lot of people have issues with money. A lot of people say, I don't know why, can't earn the way I earn, I don't have the job that I choose to have, I'm not earning the kind of money I should, because your relationship with money suddenly is fundamentally flawed. And a lot of people in India, for example, have more a fear of success than they have a failure, because in India the way we grow up is we see rich people as bad people. We see them as the immoral lot, ayash hai, immoral hai, decadent lifestyles. We are simple, nice middle class people, right? That's generally what people say. Really, are you trying to say that if the rich have affairs, that the poor people don't have affairs? Are you trying to say that drugs is done by rich people? You're saying middle class and poor people don't do drugs? Are you trying to say that somebody has two wives in a upper class society, that anyone on a poor level doesn't have two wives? Are you saying that are you trying to say that that there's actually a difference? There isn't. There is no difference. Everyone is doing the same things, but creating this sense of I'm good and they are bad. So these limitations limit you and whatever you seek to achieve, because if, for example, a great opportunity comes your way which enables you to earn money to become rich, you will self-sabotage the entire process, because in your mind and your upbringing and your conditioning, if you become rich, you become bad, because that's the way you've grown up. You've grown up thinking rich equals bad. Why would you want to be a bad person? Therefore, why would you want to be a rich person? So these limiting belief systems need to be changed.
But can this be done in a day's course?
In a
Pooja?
day's course. In a day's course, we teach you how to go about doing it. And various modalities are introduced to people. It's also very powerful in hypnotherapy. We do a lot of deconstruction of your belief systems. We go down to the seed. It's a one day. In fact, we teach you how to do stuff. If you feel you need further help, we've got a list of wonderful practitioners in Bombay that do it. You can go to them in 1 hour. You can deconstruct whatever your belief system is and create a new belief system. So, and these are very empowering things. And people say, why do we not know about it? Well, now you're getting to know about it. So there's a time and space and phase for everything in life. And this is when society needs to start learning there are other ways to go about helping yourself. And I think that's the most important thing we can help people do, is just simply be happy. Because if you see the energy balances of this planet, everyone around, we have more than we have ever had in our lives. We have better cars, we have better homes, we have better jobs, we have better salaries, we have better lifestyles, we have better travel, we have better everything. Everything in our life has improved, if you look at 3 generations ago. But everyone is so miserable and so unhappy. They're so stressed. And you look around you and say, when you have more than you've ever had before, why would you be more stressed than you've ever been before? You should be happier than you've ever been before. Something is fundamentally very wrong. Something needs to change. And and what we do through this course is empower people to simply just be happy. Because whether you're rich or whether you're poor, whether you're fat or whether you're thin, it's your mind that controls your happiness quotient. So let's teach people how to be happy. Wake up happy, sleep happy. That's so important. And you create a happy society around you. Everywhere you see, husband comes home, yells at his wife, wife takes it out on the servant, servant takes it out on the bhajiwala. It's like a filter down effect. Everyone's just yelling at everybody. It's a society of chaos. It's so unnecessary.
Pooja, I would like to ask you, how do you balance your work and your life with your children? What would be your advice for all the single moms out there?
It's tough. It's very tough. But it's doable.
What are your
I
top
think
tips?
top tips is, we are often told that, this whole concept of quality time with our kids, that is just a farce and it's all myth. And you say quality time with your kids versus quantity because you want to feel better about the fact that you are a single parent. I don't agree. Quality time is definitely more important than quantity time. The kids will always know that you're there. Full stop. That will always be a given. What you need to do is input into their life moments, memories, an environment which keeps them safe, keeps them happy, and keeps them aware that they are loved, they are safe. And as a parent, the time that you spend with them, the memories you make for them are the most important thing. So the concept of quality time is making memories. My mother may have been extraordinarily busy with her dance and everything else, but I can never forget the fact that she would take us off camping in tents, kidnap us from school literally, and say, grandmother's very sick, grandmother's very sick, and we say, what happened, mama, to Nani? And she'd say, no, come. So we'd come, what happened to Nani? Nothing. We're going camping for 2 days in Alibag, So, and this became a routine, So, the kind of memory she had, she never let us eat food on a dining table. For some reason, she always wanted a new place. So it was in the hall, it was in a tent in the hall, it was on the car, it was in a car in the middle of a garden. It was, she would do these wonderful, crazy things all the time. She would play sport with us. She'd take us swimming. She'd take us in the middle of the ocean on dinghy boat. She would, she was a character, and it was so much fun. So be a character for your kids. Be somebody that they love and remember and cherish. Not just there was a mother figure in my house who woke up with me in the morning and slept with me at night, who took care of my food and made sure my clothes were fine and then did the doing of the motions and played a role. No, be a person to your children. That's so important. Be a person. That's the greatest tip I can give any single mother out there. Don't feel guilty about the concept of quality time versus quantity time. Enjoy your kids, and every age and phase goes by so quickly, and some of them are so traumatic, I can't tell you. But you know what? It's every parent's journey, whether you're a single parent or whether you're not a single parent. You will still go through those ages and stages of your kids. So just go out there and do what you need to do. Everything sorts itself out.
So your identity comes across as that of a very strong, a very bold woman, and you being in an industry where you're a celebrity, you're an anchor, you're a columnist, you get positive responses, but on the other hand, you also get negative responses.
Mhm.
So then how do you deal with criticism and still move on and give it your best at whatever you do?
Well, if I can't take criticism, I shouldn't take compliments. Because if I believe the compliments, I should believe the criticism too, right? So you should believe the criticism and say, where's it coming from? Is it misplaced or is it real? Like with compliments. People give you compliments on the stupidest things and it's not a real compliment, but you'll still take it, right? It's your choice whether you choose to accept it or reject it. If I tell you, for example, you are a fat pink elephant with a white flower on your head, would you believe me? So if I tell you something nasty about yourself, why would you believe me? It's up to you to accept a compliment or accept an insult. It is some part of you resonates with what they said. Therefore, you choose to react to it in a certain manner. Otherwise, somebody tells you something. How does it impact you? How does it change your life? How sad that that person is suffering in their head so badly that there's misconstrued notion about who you are or what you do. But how nice that they're so bothered about your life. How nice that they're willing to extricate themselves from their boring, mundane existences and actually dive into your life to actually make judgment and be on top of it and keep scrutinizing you. How wonderful to be so important. That's the way I look at it. So it's all perspective. Everything is perspective. It's just how you choose to see things. It's only you that empowers yourself. It's only you.
Recently, our government took a very good step, bold step, to increase the stress of black money holders. What do you say?
I think it's a wonderful move. It's something that we've been going on about. I think the greatest problem in this country has been corruption on every single level. It's been from the highest levels of authority to the janitor who's working in some office who demands some money to push a file through. I think, whether there's gas connections or whatever it is, on every level, the common man to the rich man has been impacted by corruption. All the cess money that's collected, it filters down the whole system, and at the end of the day, what you have midday meal schemes where the most watery, pathetic food is being served. You have schools apparently that have opened where there are no teachers teaching. So I think corruption has been a massive issue in our country, and any move that in any manner stems corruption or makes all those people with all the hordes of money suddenly feel, WTF? What happened? I think it's great. I think it's fab.
So do you think it's a great time for those who are suffering from stress should join your episode?
Well, I must say the timing is perfect. I have to thank him for that, yes. But I think people should have joined Happy Soul irrespective, because stress is something that never seems to go out of fashion, just the degrees change. And I think most importantly, I think as a move, it's actually been fabulous. And if people want to earn money, they need to invest in pharma stocks. So because everyone's going to be needing a lot of medication.
Thank you. We'd like to end the proceedings by thanking Pooja and all you wonderful people. Thank you.
Yeah, you have
look here. That's seven.
man.
Ma'am, your right, please. Here. Ma'am, over your right. Little bit smile, ma'am. Thank you.
Center, ma'am.
Thank you.
Center.
Yeah, ma'am, here. One second.
We have to take photos, my camera. Little higher. Yeah. That's coming, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, go. One sec. She wants to take them off you guys clicking me.
Come take a photo and Smita, take from here. You get a nice angle of all the photographers.
Come. You also come in the picture. Come. You, photographer, she's looking left, right, and center. Come.
Pooja ji.
Yeah, I got the angle. Chalo, jaldi. Acha photo le rahe hain. Photo.
Pooja, ma'am.
Are you getting it?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Pooja, ma'am, your left. Yeah. Full left, yeah. Ma'am, यहाँ पे.
Pooja ji.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah?
Pooja ji.
ये वो right
I
corner,
don't know what
right.
I've touched.
Hold on.
It's not looking as too late.
How's it looking? Show. Sure, no, how's it looking?
I show you. What's the back? Can't see your